Yeah, off we go on another trip. Want to buy a watch? There's something you hear more than once in New York City, but for 50 years people have been buying watches, having them repaired, and stopping by to pass the time in one of the most unique and busiest store locations in the world, with corporate America paving the way to its own demise with Monet paintings and designer sheets. Editorial there. The backbone of U.S. business is still the small one, and this is small. The crossroads of the world, and on every wrist a watch. Grand Central Station. Few places make their own time and then hold others to it like this one. And in this vortex of minutes and seconds, when the sweep hand sticks or the second hand stops or the crystal is cracked, chances are this is where it'll be brought for repair, a submersible-sized space on an offshoot of the main walkway over near tracks 38 and 39. Central Watch Bandstand Limited, in more ways than one. Now, if you're a little guy, how do you operate back there?
Okay. I'm a little bit of a contortionist. Clumsily. What can I say?
How big is it back there?
Oh, it's pretty tight, you know.
It's like a submarine.
Sometimes it feels that way, but, it's like my second home.
The Cavell family are the unofficial timekeepers of this bastion of American transportation. For 50 years in the business started by Larry Cavell's father in 1952, they have been a Grand Central tenant. The renovated terminal, home to 100 going concerns, an increasing revenue stream turned up by growing numbers of commuters and tourists.
We treat people with respect, and you get the respect back.
People know how to find us, even though we're hidden down here. Built into a wall, and people make a special trip and they come out of their way.
The core of the Cavell's business is the regular customer, people who will drop off a Timex or a Rolex, a Petit Philippe, or a Mickey Mouse for a battery or the works.
These movements are to repair watches that are 50 and 75 years old, maybe 100 years old. And the biggest problem in our business is getting material.
In a literal sense, the Cavell family has kept the trains running on time over the years, selling watches to and repairs for conductors. And they've watched the markets go up and down, the faces of traders filled with hope going to work and deflated coming home.
And someone will come by and say, my watch is off 3 seconds this month. Could you do something for it? I mean, who would know 3 seconds in a month, but somebody does.
The Cavells have seen a lot of 3-second increments in the last 50 years, have watched a lot of the world walk by, have touched people's lives, repaired Grandpa's fading wrist-bound memorial, or cleaned up Mom's going-away present. All from a narrow little space, down a hallway, a shop, a home.
Coming in here every day, I just feel like it's a part of me already.
Something else the Cavells can teach the big boys the right way to use the Internet. CentralWatch.com is key to their staying in touch with their customers on a daily basis. Now, they've sent along some very kind of cool watches to look at, and we'll look at them very quickly. This is a conductor's watch from the New York City train system. Dates back to 1906. I would have set this one to the correct time, but it's more complicated than I can handle. They knew a lot more about watches in 1906. This is one of the earliest... Speaking of complicated watches, one of the earliest complicated watches, you can't see it really well here. This is one of the earliest ones that actually has a date and the phases of the moon on the crystal. This is workmanship at its best. This, some of our audience remember, World War II, remember? World War II watch. This was actually given to the troops. I think this is a Bulova, if I'm not... And it's written on the back. Again, you probably won't be able to see it. It says... USAAF, the United States Army Air Force, beforehand. And this little baby was the transitionary watch between pocket watches and wrist watches, because this actually comes with a guard, a face guard, which if I break it, I buy it, but it pops up. Look at that.
Wow.
And then you can see on the inside. This one dates to 1910, so that's a beauty. So there you go. What kind of watch do you wear?
I don't wear a watch.
You don't wear a watch?
I'm sure they'd want you to keep the one of your choice.
I don't think so.
I don't wear a watch.
Well, time is not important to you.
No watch, no rings, no nothing.
He needs no adornments.
Oh, natural. Thank you, Mike.
But you have a piercing, I'm told.
Yes. We're